A few days ago, the biggest IPO in history hit the market, SpaceX. $1,770,000,000,000. And here's the part nobody's talking about. Even now that it's public, it still can't get into the most powerful club in finance, the S&P 500. Same answer for OpenAI, same answer for Anthropic. Because getting in isn't about being big, it's about a rulebook almost no one reads. And right now, a small handful of companies quietly pass every rule and aren't in yet. When one of them gets the call, hundreds of funds are forced to buy the stock at almost any price. One name already jumped 10% in a single morning just last week. So in the next few minutes, I'll do three things. Show you the AI stocks that actually qualify and could be next, expose the one trap that quietly burns the people who chase this, and then put my own bet on the record. Let's go. First, 60 seconds on why this even matters. Because it's the whole engine. More than $7 trillion sits in funds that just track the S&P 500, index funds, pension plans, probably your own retirement account. By the rules, that money must hold exactly these 500 companies in exact proportion. So the moment a new member is added, those funds are forced to buy. Not because they want it, but because they have no choice. It's one of the only moments in the entire market where the buyer doesn't care about the price. That's the prize. Now, how do you qualify? 5 rules, and they're stricter than you'd think. 1. Size. You must be worth at least $22.7 billion. 2. American, on a major U.S. exchange. 3. A real liquid float. Enough shares actually trading. 4. Public for at least 12 months. And 5. The dream killer, profit. 4 straight quarters of positive earnings plus a profitable latest quarter. Not a story. Real, reported profit 4 quarters in a row. That last rule is why SpaceX is out. It lost $4.9 billion last year. OpenAI and Anthropic make no profit at all. And in case you're wondering whether the giants get special treatment, this month the Index Committee was asked exactly that. And on June 4th, they said no. The rulebook stays. Money can't buy a ticket here, you have to earn it. So who actually passes but isn't in yet? Here's where it gets interesting, because the strongest candidates all come from the same place, the AI build-out. If you've watched this channel before, you already know 2 of these names. I ran each through the same filter: size, profit, timing. If this kind of side door investing is your thing, subscribe, because it's the whole channel. Here we go. Candidate 1, Astera Labs. The nervous system of the AI data center. The chips that move data between thousands of GPUs. We covered this exact bottleneck in another video. It's already worth tens of billions. Revenue up 93% to $308 million in the quarter. And the key part, it turned profitable and has stayed profitable. $80 million in net income last quarter. Big, American, consistently profitable. This one ticks almost every box cleanly. Candidate 2, Bloom Energy. The other half of the AI story, power. Hydrogen fuel cells feeding data centers, with deals tied to Oracle and Brookfield, revenue exploding 130% to $750 million in a quarter. But here's the catch. Bloom lost money for years and only turned its first real profit this year, about $70 million. Its 4-quarter profit clock just started ticking. One bad quarter, and it resets to 0. A dark horse, not a sure thing. Candidate 3, Reddit. The wild card. Because AI is its business now. Companies are paying Reddit for its data to train their models. Revenue is up 69% to $663 million in a quarter, and it posted $200 million in profit. Public since 2024, comfortably over the size line. Reddit might be the cleanest name on the list. 3 names, all riding the same wave. All big enough. But before I name my pick, you need to know the one thing that changes everything. Look at what happened to Tesla. Back in September 2020, the committee snubbed it, and the stock fell more than 16% in a day, just on the rejection. Then, when Tesla was finally announced for inclusion, it jumped. From announcement to the day it actually joined, about a month, it climbed roughly 70%. 70. Purely because it was about to enter the club. Marvel, just this past week, up 10% in a single morning on its announcement. Workday, in 2024, up 9%. The pattern looks obvious. Guess right, ride the run-up, get rich. Easy, right? Except, I just showed you only half the picture. Remember Tesla's 70% run? Look at what happened on the day it actually joined the index. It fell more than 6%. On the exact day, every fund was finally forced to buy. Why? Because the smart money had already bought back at the announcement, and on inclusion day, they sold straight into the funds that had no choice but to buy. You would have been the one paying the top. And here is the heart of the whole thing. Researchers at Harvard measured this. In the 1990s, joining the club lifted a stock by around 8%. The effect peaked around the year 2000. Then it shrank. Through the 2000s through the 2010s, down toward almost nothing. In recent years, effectively zero. The very phenomenon thousands of people tried to get rich from ate itself. The more people tried to predict it, the more the reward disappeared. The market learned. They call it the disappearing index effect. So that secret strategy in the title? It isn't secret anymore, and that's exactly why it barely works after a stock joins. The only window where an edge might still exist is before the announcement. But guess what? Analysts publish the same candidate lists I just showed you, including me, right now. So where does that leave us? Here. Getting into the index is no longer an automatic money machine, but the guessing game is still fun, and a good call before the announcement can still pay. So I'll do the thing finance channels almost never do. I'll put my own guess on the record, publicly. If I had to name the next S&P 500 member today, I'd say Astera Labs. It passes the filter most cleanly, big, American, and steadily profitable. Reddit is right there with it. And Bloom Energy is the dark horse, if it can keep its profit streak alive. And here's my promise. I'm pinning this bet to this video. We'll come back in 1 year and see whether I nailed it, or embarrassed myself completely. None of this is financial advice. Always do your own homework. But now I want your guess. Drop one name in the comments. Who's the next member? I'll pin the best calls and we'll revisit them. And if you want to see who got it right, subscribe, because that follow-up is coming. See you in a year.